Now, the next few are going to be a little bit quicker, so we're speeding this up because hopefully you're getting into this, and we've only got a few more left to do, so keep the motivation going. So, rounding. Basically, you round. Half the time, if you had like 37 apples, I don't know why I keep choosing apples, but anyway, 37 apples, you say, oh, if around 40. That's all we're doing. We're giving a rough estimate of what we have. So, the poem. Some people say, look right next door, 4 or less, just ignore, 5 or more, add 1 more. Basically, all that means is if the number is 4 or below, you get rid of it. If the number's 5 or above, you add 1. This sounds a bit strange, so we're just going to have a look. So, here's your number. And the number is, what is it? 368,971. And I have to round this number to the nearest 10,000. So what I do is I underline my 10,000s. I have to look to the person to the right. So I box it and I go, ooh, that's an 8. So therefore, as it's 5 or more, you add 1 more. I add 1 more to it, cross through to say that I've done this, and I rewrite out the number. So it's 370,000 and all the rest are zeros. Remember the rest. It should always round to the same rough value. So don't just round it as 37. You have to remember what the number is. The way I like to do this is when I say that as 368,000, I know I'm expecting 300 and something thousand. Okay? So remember, circle and look to the number to the right, and that gives you 370,000. Now, when we round to decimals, we start counting as soon as we reach the decimal point. So round that number to the second decimal place. Second decimal place, this number here. So you box the numbers to the right. Ooh, again it's more than 5, so I add 1 more. But because it's a decimal, we don't mind about all the zeros afterwards, so I can just cross all of that away, and that becomes 17.47. So decimals are easier because you don't have to remember the zeros. As you can see, second decimal place, and we round. So now let's just try round this number to the nearest pound. Pause and try that. Okay, welcome back. And you'll see the nearest pound is 5, the number next door is 8, so we basically add 1 more and the answer becomes £6, which is what you do. When you have £5 and change, you normally say have around £6 if you have more than 50p. So here's a few multiple choice questions. Are you ready? Okay, round 0.34 to 1 decimal place. Pause. Your answer is A, B, C or D, and it's B. Round to 1 decimal place. Pause. Okay, come back, and the answer is D. That one, is it A, B, C or D? Pause. And the answer is A. Ooh, the numbers are getting bigger. The same thing still applies. Round that A, B, C or D, so pause. Okay, and the answer is D. Ooh, numbers are even bigger. Are you ready? A, B, C or D, and you pause. And the answer is D. Ooh, we're getting even bigger numbers. Come on, we can do this. A, B, C or D. Ready, pause. Come back. The answer is B. Now it's getting harder. Ready? Round that to 2 decimal places. Are you ready? Pause. Is it A, B, C or D? And the answer is C. 3 decimal places. Remember to count your decimal places. So pause. Okay, is the answer A, B, C or D? The answer is B. Okay, remember when you add on, it can cascade all the way to the left. So is the answer A, B, C or D? Pause. And the answer is C. Remember, this is starting to get tricky. So what is your answer, A, B, C or D? Pause. And the answer is A. Here we go. Significant figures, little bit like rounding, but you basically count what are the numbers that are important. When you first start reading it, what are the numbers that are important? That's all it's talking about. So if we round 17 point blah to 2 significant figures, underline your 2 significant figures. 1, 2. They're the first 2 numbers that mean something. That's your significant figures. And you do the exact same as rounding. You look to the number to the right, it's 4, so you just ignore. So the answer is 17. If you had more than 2 numbers that aren't zeros, you've done it wrong. Just so you can see it, all the numbers after will become 0. So round to 1 significant figure. So to 1 significant figure, this is the first number that has any significance. However, always remember what the number is. It's 378,000. So we're never going to lose that value, even when we round to significant figures. So we underline the first number, look at the 7, because it's 5 or more, we add 1, and the answer becomes 400,000. So as you can see, 1, look next door, we round up, and it becomes 400,000. Let's look more. We're looking at 3, so the first 3 numbers that are significant, which is 8, 3, 7 and 8. You look next door, which is a 4, so that means you round, that becomes 0. You round down. So the answer is 378,000. This time the 2 significant figures in decimal places are the first 2 numbers that mean something. So because the rest of it is zeros, they don't mean anything. These are the first 2 numbers that mean something. So you round there, look to the right, and because it's a 9, you round up, so it becomes 29.0029. 3 significant figures, the first 3 numbers that mean something, and that includes a 0, because now 208, because there's a number in front, this means something. So they're your first 3 significant figures. You look to the door, the one next door, because it's 7, you round up, and that becomes 0.00209. So now that you've had a go, we're going to have a little bit of a game as well. Try and do games because I know it's getting a little bit tiring and you must be getting really sick of my voice. But come on, let's keep going. This is the first one, and you know what's good? You can stop me, go for a cup of tea and a biscuit, and then come back. That'll make life so much better. So let's go, rounding to 3 significant figures, or 1 significant figure. Okay, so 1 significant figure, A, B, C or D. Pause. Come back. The answer's 2. To 1 significant figure, pause. Is it A, B, C or D? The answer is D. Again to 1 significant figure, pause. A, B, C or D? The answer is A. Ooh, numbers getting bigger? Still doesn't matter, it's only 1 significant figure. So pause. Answer A, B, C or D? The answer is B. This is decimals now. Remember, it's the first 2 numbers that count. So pause. Answer A, B, C, or D? The answer is D. Okay, two significant figures. Remember, it's the first two numbers that count. So pause. Answer A, B, C, or D? The answer is B. First three significant figures. Make sure you're watching. Pause. A, B, C, or D? The answer is B. Back to one significant figure. You ready? Pause. A, B, C, or D? The answer is D. Two significant figures this time. You ready? Pause. The answer is C. We're back to three significant figures. Make sure you always read the question. That's usually the worst problem about maths papers is people don't read questions. So, three significant figures. Pause. The answer is A. So, are you red, amber, or green?